can be only one podcast, and may it be the Princess of the Universe. Hi, folks, I'm Matt, and with me is my brother.
H.W. Taylor.
Oh, H.W. Taylor. Sorry.
Oh, also...
H.W. What did we decide the H.W. stood for?
Hieronymus.
Hieronymus.
I like that.
Are you serious?
Hieronymus Whiston Taylor. I've invented a whole fake history with my fake...
Really?
Right.
How's that called? Happy Willie.
Happy Willie.
Happy Willie Taylor.
Happy Madison.
So what's the backstory with H.W. then?
Married to supermodel. Yes.
No, yeah.
Project One Way.
Okay.
What's her name?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, I don't. Oh, get Megan in here. I don't know Project Runway. Who? Is that Naomi Campbell?
No, that's Heidi Klum. Heidi Klum.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Heidi Klum. Okay, married to Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
I thought, wouldn't he be married to Bernadette Peters?
Bernadette, yeah. Alternate reality Bernadette.
70s. The 1970s Bernadette Peters?
Yes. Fresh off the set of The Jerk.
Yeah.
We have already gotten off the rails.
Okay, off the rails already. So we're here to talk about the new novella that is part 3 in the Unique Miranda trilogy.
Final book.
Ariel. So why did you choose to talk about The Little Mermaid in the third novel?
Yeah, I thought, cashing in on some of that Disney dollars.
Disney bucks, baby.
That's right.
Now, real quick, the last time we spoke about this, if you haven't read the first 2, you need to go back and watch our podcast on them. But roughly, my brother just, he had the, what's it called? The foresight, when you can see into the future. What's that called? Is that called foresight, right?
Foresight?
Yeah, you predicted COVID-19.
Oh, yes, because of the...
you call it botch.
The botch.
The botch.
Yes, in Sycorax, the book 1 of the Unique Miranda trilogy, there's a sickness going around. But that's actually because they take a gene, the immortality gene, so that they can live forever, and there's side effects.
True, there's side effects. Well,
yeah.
I mean, obviously, when they developed this in, Wuhan, China,
right.
There are some side effects. They're trying to become a man-bat, I think is what it was.
That was weird that I put that in the first book 2 years ago.
Yeah. But you do, for those who, it's been a while since they've read the second one, the prologue gives you a quick caught-up, catch-up of what all goes on, so you really don't have to reread the first 2, which I thought was nice. The prologue is a nice big catch-up, like here's the events that have set us up to where we are now.
Yeah, people say don't write prologues, but it's short. I figure they can skip it if they don't want to read it, but it's kind of a fun little
If you're
recap.
Binging all 3 of these, you can skip the prologue, definitely, but when these come out within a year of each other, you just forget. So, I mean, not forget, but you just need that, where did they end off? I know some of the stuff that happened, but where are we now? That's what I wanted to see.
Yeah. Actually, Sycorax came out last year at this time, so it's been a year from start to finish. So
okay.
Speedy.
And who is looking at someone else, who is RDB?
Oh,
you dedicated to RDB.
RDB.
Are we allowed to know? Is it RD?
That's Ray Bradbury.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I didn't know. No. RDB. You call him RDB?
I forgot that I did that.
Oh, okay.
RDB. I guess so. RDB. Is there a number?
It says dedicated to RDB.
RDB.
Oh, there may have been a number.
There's a number.
Like when he died.
No, it's...
what's the number?
It's actually...
No, I know. It's
4611, which is the word count for Fahrenheit 451. So it was one of those things where...
Dang, you have a code.
It's such a beautiful little book. And it's so short, and I was amazed that he could write such a great little book in so few words. And so that was kind of my motivation for the Unique Miranda trilogy, is just to write fun little tales.
Right.
And if he can do it in 40,000 words, mine are a little bit longer than that, but and probably not as beautiful and
so
timeless.
You say.
Yeah. But so it's Ray Bradbury.
Okay.
Fahrenheit 451, one of the classics.
Now, Ariel, I believe, has the most humor out of the 3. Well, I don't know. There are more chuckle moments for me. Maybe because I didn't think your first 2 books were that funny. No, I'm kidding.
You said the second one was funny.
No, I thought the second one had some good parts, but I thought the third one was even funnier.
Okay.
Not that these have to be comedies, but I mean, I'm just going to give one.
Okay. Yeah.
One away at the very beginning, but may your butthole somehow contract the botch or something.
Childish. I didn't.
It's funny though. It's funny. It got. And I went, butthole. But I mean, they're not that childish. Okay. There's some really good quips. Back and forth. Of course, at this point, the characters are all kind of familiar with each other. Kate Hudson is more involved in the group now. She's not being introduced like she was in the second one. She's more involved, so there's big quips between her and the other people. And
the first one, it really was kind of dark and depressing. I had a friend who was sending me little updates as he read through the first one, and he's just, wow, this is... And he was enjoying it, but he just was confessing how dark it was.
See, I love the first one.
Yeah, I thought
the first one was great. I don't think it needed humor.
Right, and so once they get out of that situation, and of course the cast is getting bigger. I mean, the first one was so focused on Unique Miranda. The second one, it was a little bit wider.
Right, more broad.
And the third one, of course, we've been with these characters now. And so I get to show a little bit more of their personality. So yeah, that's always the fun thing about sticking with characters for 3 books, is you can really go far and have them really show their personality. Right.
Speaking of new characters, the new character is LV.
LV.
So tell us about LV a little bit.
I don't know. It started off. So I don't guess I really write hard science fiction. But I like the idea of making it token hard sci-fi. So one of the things in science fiction is space travel. The Star Wars shooting through space doesn't consider the fact that most space travel is just coasting. Right? You're not flying. You're just coasting. Right. And anytime you have to move, you have to calculate fuel costs and all that. So it's really complicated to fly in outer space.
You're sailing through space,
right? And so there's a huge cost anytime you want to move, right? Mm-hmm. Slow down, speed up, but even turn. So it's enormously complex. And so I kind of wanted to keep, at least for this series. Other series, I'm fine. It's not like I hate Star Wars type stuff. That's fun. But for this one, I wanted to be a little bit more conscious of that. And so to navigate, really, you have to have a celestial mech. So I have the pirate, Kate Hudson, has a celestial mech. And the second book, Caliban, he's just essentially a head bolted to the dashboard. And which is kind of funny. She kicks her feet up on it. She kicks him upside the head. But for this book, I thought it'd be kind of fun, and there's some other reasons why it wasn't just, hey, let's put legs on him, but it was also part of
character development.
He needed to be able to get around. He's doing some more stuff, so that was fun. So he was kind of boring, just essentially a space calculator. In the second book, gets a personality upgrade, and I get to incorporate him a little bit.
And a body.
And a body, yeah.
He's your Pinocchio story. He becomes a real droid.
I don't think he's kind of a minor thing, though.
No, I don't know. He was a good character. He's got some some comedic moments with LV too. No, I enjoy. I'm just saying I enjoyed LV.
Yeah,
LV was nice. Now we talk about story arcs, and I thought someone that had a very good character arc through all 3 of these is Zoe. She has come. I mean, she's still true to her roots, but she's come a long way from the first book. And I was thinking about that while I was reading the book.
Yeah,
Zoe's been a fun character to write, obviously.
Oh yeah, I mean, at first she's, I think I mentioned this in the first podcast. I kind of took 4 personality types. So Unique Miranda is the main character, and I have Zoe was her first close friend, and she was an interesting mix. She's kind of an insecure but a beautiful woman, but is not ditzy. She's really brilliant, and probably the most efficient worker on the planet Sycorax. And she just continues to expand and get promoted up into this company. So she's taking a different path. So I wanted to kind of explore. So all three of them kind of hit different paths. So of course, Unique escapes. You have Tonio. He joins the military, and his skills as a pilot make him valuable. Zoe, of course, becomes one of the foremost authorities in mining and making herself valuable. So I kind of had that idea of tracing these three paths through each of these characters.
Yeah, she's definitely so cunning, knows how to work the system, and as it goes, first off, she's just running her own little ring from her own living room. But now she's like, she has a corporation by the gonads now, and is it's kind of become a way that she can. You're just unleashing that character onto the world, where it's showing her true power, or how she can get what she needs.
Yeah, the key between that was reading Dune over here. So yeah, I read that first Dune, and I was so just the meetings. Those were so gripping, and how they would read a person's body language and navigate them to a particular position and spring a trap on them. And then just sitting at a table, and I thought, wow, that was really fun to read. Just people talking. I usually find those the most boring parts of a book. So part of that was I read Dune earlier last year, I guess it was. And so when I started writing this one, that lessons learned from Frank Herbert were applied.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. Now let me ask you this. Michael Stackpole once told me that sometimes when you're writing characters, they don't go in the direction you first envision them to. And they kind of take on their own persona and go into a different route. You're like, no, this is not what I had planned for this person, but now I feel like they're moving this way. Did you have a character who did that? And who was it? And I mean, without spoiling anything from the third book, but
well, to a degree, all of them did that to some degree. The character, and you can kind of tell as Sycorax is happening, is Juno was a minor character in the first book, and was supposed to be even more minor, but she ended up being very convenient to use. So it was mostly just as a plot device. Antonio was supposed to be kind of that character, but as I started thinking through what type of person so Juno is a soul bot. She's a kind of a pleasure robot that this insecure video gaming pilot purchases when he's stranded on this one planet, and just started thinking, what type of person is that, and how does he respond? And as I developed his backstory, which is developed further in the second book with Haight Hudson, a far more not a brash Han. I was kind of thinking he was kind of a Han Solo type, and he just wouldn't fit into that category. So that's who I had in the back of my head as Han Solo, and he just never developed in that. And so it was kind of surprising. I went with it. I didn't force it. But you can kind of see that his mom kind of turns into that's a little bit of a spoiler, I guess. The second book, she kind of picks up some Han Solo traits.
That's all right. If you read the second book, actually, and you're right, Tonio takes a bigger role, becomes more integral plot to the story. Juno, actually, that's my favorite scene. Actually, in the second book.
Oh yeah,
is the
she gets emancipated.
Juno and Tonio. Yeah. That's the Juno, do you love me? I love that. I love that. It's great. It's great. It's awesome.
Yeah, I intentionally went into the third book knowing I was not going to resolve that tension. I mean, they end up in a much more settled place at the end, but that story is not finished. I have plans to maybe continue onward with.
Wait, there's a fourth book?
No, I actually
was spin-off.
Juno Pax trilogy. So
whoa!
Yeah, to debut that idea here.
Oh, well, Juno is a very interesting character, and you're right. In the first one, she's just a standby fill-in. Just something to the side is mentioned, is talked about.
Yeah,
but not really.
And she could do things that the other characters couldn't do. So that was just helpful to have her.
Have her around.
Yeah, but so she grew into that
way
role.
More integral part.
Yeah, Zoe was a similar one where, I didn't want to do just the simple, beautiful ditzy girl,
Right.
But navigating that complexity of her, in one sense, having a lot of exerting her power and her intelligence, but yet being a deeply flawed person,
Right.
was a lot of interesting things angles to play with there.
How fun is Kate Hudson to write?
Yeah, she's a little spitfire.
In the third book, she's really, the second book we get the introduction, so it's a little bit more mystery. That the characters aren't as familiar, and now they're working together now, and she's and does Mom think that that's who she is in the book?
Oh, Mom has not read these, and that's probably Dad has read them, but
okay.
Mom's
no.
But
Mom's gonna figure out that she's Kate Hudson.
No,
I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding. I tell you, it's nothing like Mom. But she said whenever Mom reads it, she's like,
right.
Character.
She's always looking at the mom, thinking that, this is the carbon copy of.
This is how he sees me.
Yeah. No relation to. It's Han Solo is closer to Kate Hudson than.
Yeah. No, I got that. I got that with her.
Yeah.
We talk about Star Wars a little bit, and I wanted to ask if there was any Star Wars influence here, because I caught 2 references in your book.
Oh, references.
And are there
Easter eggs?
Are there Easter eggs?
Yeah, there's Easter eggs all over.
Okay, because I caught the Star Wars Easter eggs in it.
Go ahead.
Did I go ahead?
Yeah,
okay, I have a bad feeling.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
You can't help.
You got to have that one in there. And thought they smelled bad on the outside. Yeah, it's great. It's good stuff.
There's another. Okay, so the one.
Oh, there's a third one.
There's
I missed it.
It's played with. Where
all these are not direct quotes, but they're. I said, now that's from Star Wars.
LV tells her the percentages.
Oh, you're
and
right.
She says, "Never tell me the percentages.
Never tell me the percentages.
I don't know what they mean."
That's good. Yeah,
that tickled me.
Never tell me the odds. Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. No, I get that. I remember that now.
Yeah. That's full of all sorts of, and again, still using aliens as my naming.
We're all gonna die,
shark.
Man.
It's game over.
Oh wait, is that Hudson? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, that's Kate Hudson. Is her
man.
name.
So in this one, we're not gonna say who, but one of your characters does not make it.
Yeah,
is gonna perish here, and it was a little bit of a surprise.
Yeah,
because even though it was happening at the time, it's like, well, it's obviously not gonna happen. I was thinking that, but and it did. It's not a twist, is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
you didn't try to get the aha, gotcha thing. You showed it happening. You just had the reader wondering if it was really going to happen. Was that always in the plan, or was that something you threw in and says, no, this is necessary to the story?
Yeah, it was one of those things that I didn't plan it. I had everything set up for the big rescue to happen, and just more and more, it was one of those things where it just became easier to, not easier so much, but it seemed like everything was pointing for this to happen, and that choice had to be made, that agonizing choice of save this person or save this person. So there was a couple, that was kind of a big one where I just realized, it wasn't like I plotted it, it just, this kind of has to happen. And the other one was, there was a character that shows up at the very end. He's at the beginning and then he shows up at the very end. That guy was supposed to be in the whole book, and I just could not get him to show up. It was one of those things where every time I thought, okay, what happens here?
Okay, that was the other one I was going to ask about. I said that was a strange character to introduce, but then we didn't see much of them until the end. I was like, okay.
I really wanted him to come back, and he kept not showing up. Like, I had it written, he was in my outline.
And it's supposed to come in.
And he didn't really show up there, and I thought, okay, that's all right, I'll put him over here. So things like that happen. It's kind of the fun of writing this way. So, but yeah, that was one of those things where I just kind of realized, and it was fairly early on. It wasn't I wrote down like this needs to happen. It just, once I got to that point, I thought, it just makes so much sense for that to happen. So,
and it does, and that's what a lot of I talk about this when I talk about the expanded universe. Everyone says, don't you wish they wouldn't have killed off X character? I said, no, because they did it to propel the storyline. It had to happen. For instance, spoilers. Spoilers. This book has been out for 15 years.
That's right.
Mara Jade
Oh, yeah.
She died.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Okay, well, when the writers were looking around, they said, why won't Luke Skywalker just go and shut Jason down? Because he can. He's the most powerful Jedi in the world. Universe. We've established that, and we've already shown how he can just control Jason. So why wouldn't he do it? And they could not come up with it's what I call the Luke problem. Luke was getting too powerful, and they couldn't figure out how to get him out of the story. If he's so powerful, he can stop everything. And then someone said, well, if Mara Jade dies, Luke is so afraid of going to the dark side that he will not go after Jason.
That's such an elegant solution.
And there was quiet in the room, and according to they won't name the author who made the suggestion, but Troy Denning told me, he said there was quiet in the room, and everyone went,
well, is it Kevin J? It's got to be Kevin J.
Kevin J. Anderson was not in the room.
Oh.
I don't know who all was in the room. I know some of the authors. I'm not going to say any names, but Troy gave me some of the people who were in the room that were making the decision, and they agreed not to ever say who it was who made that suggestion. They just said as a group, because it's just one of those things, and they'd not learned their lesson, but the decision to kill Chewbacca was a big backlash from the fans. They knew this one would get huge backlash from the fans.
Do we know who killed Chewbacca?
Yeah, in a way, Del Rey did collectively. They wanted to come in with a hit, and they wanted to kill Luke off first.
Yeah.
George said no. They said, how about Han? They said no, and they went, ugh. Oh, Chewbacca. And he went, yeah, you can kill Chewbacca.
I was irrationally, I know you don't know this, but in The Force Awakens, Chewbacca is shot. And I was irrationally upset at that because, Chewbacca skates through all of those movies, never gets touched.
Yeah.
And to me, he's somewhat a magical creature, and I was very offended when he got shot. It's a stupid scene, and I don't know why they really did it. I mean, it was just like, oh, he's never gotten shot before. So they ruined the magic of Chewbacca. And they were perfect on everything else, as we all know. But that one criticism of that movie,
the only thing you hated about
the only thing that was wrong with that movie is that Chewbacca got struck by a laser.
It's funny.
I was upset about that.
But yeah, no. But each time a character dies, they have a reason for it. I was like, guys, they have a reason for that. Nothing was ever thought about like, this is a mindless death. Every death that happened, and EU fans know this, but there's another death where Tenel Ka, do you remember Young Jedi Knights?
No.
Okay. Her mother dies. And it's at the very end of the book, you're like, oh, okay, that was just a hook, last-minute hook. We're going to kill off someone. No, because we need Tenel Ka to have we need her to, now she has to be the queen all of a sudden, so she's pulled away from the crisis and has to run an empire all of a sudden, and now she has her own adventure, and that propels the storyline, gives that character that arc, and that need that they do, like how do we take Tenel Ka to this? Because she would be there to help Jason, but no, we need to separate them. So everything makes sense to me. Every death made sense. There wasn't a senseless death just for shock value.
So you mentioned you name dropped Stackpole a second ago.
Yeah.
I'm going to name drop. Do you know who Dan Harmon is? Creator of Community.
Yes. I'm familiar.
Rick and Morty.
Yes.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
No, you keep telling me to.
Oh man. Anyway, so my friend Dan Harmon.
Oh, your friend. Okay.
I was on an email list with Dan Harmon when he was writing for a comic called La Cosa Nostroid.
Oh, he did that?
He was involved.
Oh, shut up.
He's one of his best buds is the guy that created Scud the Disposable Assassin.
Which is a fun comic.
Which I subscribed to back in the day. So I'm early in on the Dan Harmon train. Yeah, so I've been a fan of his for forever. We had this email list just for kind of the super fans of Scud. I was on it. Major death happens. One of the main characters is killed, and it's pretty brutal. And I remember, I read that episode. People are talking it on this email list. This was the thing when you had email lists. Blogs, just amazing, yeah. And I remember I wrote, and at the time I didn't even really know Dan Harmon was on this email list.
Right.
But I wrote something, and it was really just 16 or 17-year-old me kind of heartbroken that this character dies. I wasn't complaining about the story or the fact that she died. I was just, just letting my grief be known. Like, I cannot believe
this person,
that happened. And I guess Dan, who is kind of notorious, particularly back then, for being a gigantic asshole, he's gotten a lot better.
At being an asshole?
At being an asshole. No, he's super fun, but particularly back then, he's had some... Anyway, so he writes back and just dumps on me. Like, let's listen to this guy and what he has to say about my story. I wasn't even saying it was bad. I just said, man, I cannot believe that. That was terrible. Meaning what happened to her, not the fact that it was, it wasn't poorly done or anything. Yeah. And just dumped me. So I'm like, who is this guy? Dan that's the writer. Yeah. Okay, so he just made fun of me.
Guess he can.
Yeah. Anyway, so, but I agree. Yeah, you should not just randomly off characters.
Next time you're going to tell me you talked to Marissa Tomei. Okay, so
my friend Marissa. No, I don't. It's not Marissa.
Oh, who is it?
It's
who is it?
It's Who's the Boss. No, it's Who's the Boss.
Who's the boss? Who's that lady?
Why can I not think
Amanda?
of famous people right now?
I thought it was Marissa Tomei.
Alyssa Milano.
Oh, Alyssa Milano.
My
that's
friend,
right. Samsonite. I'm so off.
Samsonite.
Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa Milano.
Well, F that joke up.
Yeah, well, when Alyssa... that's one of the tragedies of Hotmail.
This is another before he was famous. Before they were famous.
No, she was famous.
She was famous.
She was famous. This was in the Charmed years. But yeah, so Hotmail, one of the tragedies when Hotmail shut down my email account is I lost Alyssa's emails to me. So anyway. Hit me up, Alyssa, at...
He's back to... He's down.
I know you're looking for me.
I know. She's like, how come he never emails me anymore from Hotmail? I have that lock of hair he wanted.
No, I was emailing a band.
No, I know. And then she married the band member, and she emailed you back, and you're like, hey, it's Alyssa Milano.
Alyssa.
We all have those little moments where we've chitted with the famous. It's always nice.
That's right.
Like I'm on the first name basis with Jason David Frank.
Don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I told Megan, I said, I don't even know if we should brag that we know the Green Power Ranger.
Oh, the Green Power Ranger. Yeah, all of my successes like that are from the 90s. So
we were going. That was the year we were going to
pathetic to cling to it.
Comic-Con, and he was coming. He was going to a lot of them, and then Megan wanted to see him again. He remembered us. He said, "Y'all read the last one, right?" I said, "Yeah, we go to a lot of them." He's like, "Really?" And so the next time we saw him, I was like, "Hey, Matt. Hey, Megan. How's it going?" He stopped the sign line. He said, "Come on." He
Green
said,
Ranger.
He said, "Hey, blah 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 blah. Y'all want to go?" And like one of the things, he said, "Hey, I'm going to go out. Do y'all want to hang out tonight?" And Megan's like, "Yes." And I'm like, "No, we got to go home. We can't stay late."
You can't stay late for Green Ranger?
No. I had to get home.
I had to stay late for Green Ranger.
Oh, Megan was not happy when the Green Power Ranger asked if you want to hang out. I mean, it was a bunch of other people. It wasn't just exclusive. He said, "Hey."
Oh, yeah, well, that would be weird.
What?
But you could have written a little expose. My night with the Green Ranger. No. Mom doesn't listen to your podcast, does she?
Well, I hope not. Anyway.
Green Ranger.
Green Ranger. Go. So going back to Ariel, which is what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
This is basically Ferdy's revenge story concluded. Is there anything else you want to talk about with the third novella? Which everything does come up safe. But by the way, I should put a note in here that I have not read the original ending. I mean, I've read the original ending. I have not read the new ending.
Yes,
as of this, so I don't know how much changed.
Well,
you don't have to give anything. Obviously, you're not going to give anything away, but.
Well, first of all, it's not a novella. It's a novel. It's full.
Sorry.
It's not. It's longer than Fahrenheit 451. Anyway, so okay, the first draft, it was one of those things where the kind of at that home stretch kind of hit my whole life was disrupted a little bit. I don't know if you've kept up with the news, and so I just couldn't get over this hump. I just slugged it out, finished it, but there was something eating at me. I didn't like how the characters didn't end up all together. It was kind of split up into two. And
it's kind of like the Avengers. They're all going their separate ways at the end.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, you gotta have them come together and punch Thanos in the face, right? So I put Thanos in there, and
okay, good.
Yeah, that was the main change. Is Thanos shows up.
Can't wait to see that lawsuit.
No.
Hey, you're gonna get talked to Jerry Quesada now, or everyone, Kevin Feige.
No, it's Kevin Feige is the movie guy.
Yeah.
No, but they kicked out Joe. Joe's gone.
Oh, they did? Oh, they did.
It's
That's
CB
right.
something.
Oh,
CB.
yeah, I remember that. I know that now. All right. Anyway.
News. Yeah. So I rewrote it, added another chapter, made it much more epic. Yeah. So.
Okay. Awesome. And people can get this on Amazon?
It's on Amazon. I'm putting together right now a box set. So running a cell May 2nd to 4th. So this will be posted before then or at that moment.
Sure, yeah.
So May 2nd through the 4th, May the 4th, running a sale on Sycorax, which is book 1. I'm going to set up a sale for Ariel, but I have to wait till Amazon to approve it before I can run a sale on that. But I'm going to put together a box set as well, so you can get all 3 of them. I've written a couple of, there's a prologue that I sent to my newsletter subscribers, which you wouldn't know about because you don't subscribe to my newsletter. So there's a couple of short stories that I sent out exclusive to them, and I'll include that in the box set. So that should be out probably in May, first week of May as well. So.
Okay. And how can people subscribe to your newsletter?
I have a really crappy website. It's RemyWilkins.com. Yeah, that's my real name. They say to not combine your real name and your pen name, so I should have a website separately, but I haven't yet because I don't even care about my first website. But Remy.com/news, you can subscribe to my newsletter from that site. It's and then I've got a Facebook page that is exclusive to H.W. Taylor, which you can find facebook.com/Mithrillite, which is Mithril plus ITE at the end.
There you go.
Oh, it's My Thrill ITE. That's how I spelled Mithrillite.
Okay.
Which is also a terrible thing. You should just put H.W. Taylor. Oh, but someone had that one, so I couldn't do H.W. Taylor.
You told me that.
Yeah.
All right, so, and then where can they send their under things tumbling your way?
Oh, my goodness. So my wife would probably want to see those, and especially if they've been freshly laundered and her size.
Okay. All right. Well, that's nice. Anything else? Any other ways? Do you do Twitter, Facebook?
Yeah, Remy Wilkins. Okay. Remy Nobody on Instagram.
Nobody?
Remy Nobody. Okay, and
Instagram.
Remy Wilkins at Remy Wilkins on Twitter.
Okay.
For some reason, I do different things. I don't like it when people
have
log so they post on Instagram. It shows up on Facebook and their Twitter. I hate that. So I do 3 different. It's all disconnected.
Also, what's on Twitter is different than what's on Instagram.
I don't share. Occasionally. I mean, if it's a sale, I'll mention it on all 3 venues. But it's not. It's not ported.
It's
there.
not just copy paste.
Instagram. It's me taking pictures of weird things I see, nerd stuff, like
under things tumbling,
like your book that you're not supposed to have.
Anyway,
your Star Wars book.
Move on.
That you're not supposed to have, but you have.
Shut up. And moving on before I cut this podcast short.
And then on Twitter, it's mostly writing stuff, writing quotes from smarter people than me. And Mithrillite, I find other free books or cheaply discounted books on Amazon that I like. And so I say, hey, this is a cool book. And speaking of, Timothy Zahn just joined the ranks of indie publishers.
Oh.
So my co-worker, Timmy Zahn, just put out a new book, self-published himself.
That's nice of him. I've collaborated on a book with him.
Yeah, that's right. You do.
I should have dropped Timothy Zahn's name.
Nice.
I was thinking about names there.
Did you talk to him though?
Me and Tim, email only.
didn't.
I got to talk to
insult
Sue
you.
Ristoni, though. That was really cool. She
I don't
was
know who
the
that is.
editor of, I believe, Bantam or Delray back in the day, or Lucasfilm. She had a few roles there, but yeah, I got to talk to her. It was really cool. But yeah, all right. Any other names you want to drop before we go?
Hugh Howey I've interacted with. He did Wool. You've read Wool.
I love Wool.
Yeah.
That's a great trilogy. That, Silo series?
Yeah.
It's fantastic stuff.
I love his Beacon 23.
You liked it. I wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
I wasn't the biggest fan.
Well,
It's okay. It's okay. I just say, if I would have read that first before Silo, now Silo series is like, the bar, and nothing can compare to that.
Yeah, it's good. Hugh Howey likes a book that I pointed out to him, and I probably didn't get permission to share the fact that he likes it, but he likes a book that
you like,
that I was involved with.
I'm sure you'll be sending him your Under Things tumbling soon.
That's right. It's in the mail, Hugh. Well,
all right. Well, thanks for coming on.
That was fun.
All right, folks. We will see you next time. Hey, go out and get the book. Again, it's called Ariel, the Unique Miranda trilogy. Go to Amazon.com. Order yourself a copy today. Also, like, subscribe, join all his little tweets, Instagram, and everything. And maybe, just maybe, if you have some questions, now that I'm on YouTube, if you have some questions for my brother or whatever, go ahead and post them in the comments of the YouTube channel, and maybe we'll have you back and answer some questions.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah. All right, so there you go. All right, folks, we will see you next time on Princes of, I'm so glad Bruce isn't on this one, Universe!